Hello and welcome to the 12th video in the Weather Unlocked series. This video is going to discuss fog. So the definition of fog is water droplets that are suspended in the air at the Earth's surface. So essentially fog is a cloud that is near or at the ground. Fog can be quite dense and it can be very hazardous to those that are driving, those that are boating, and those that are flying. It can contribute to numerous travel accidents every year. We're going to discuss different types of fog in this video, and then we're going to discuss some safety tips. The most common type of fog that we see around the Missouri Ozarks and southeast Kansas is radiation fog, or ground fog. It occurs at night when the daytime heat and radiation leaves the atmosphere, and the ground temperature becomes cooler than the dew point temperature. And this allows for the relative humidity to reach 100% or saturation. And we also need clear skies and typically light winds for a lot of this fog to form. Now we're going to talk about advection fog. This type of fog forms when warmer air flows over a colder surface. It then cools and it becomes saturated. Now this colder surface could be cold ground, it could be snow cover, it could be a cold body of water, or it could be an ice area. Now unlike radiation fog or ground fog that we just discussed, advection fog, it may form under cloudy skies and even in moderate to strong wind conditions. Typically, you'll see advection fog last for days across the western United States along the west coast. Lake, river, or sometimes referred to as steam fog is also common across the Missouri Ozarks region. It occurs when colder air really drifts across a warmer body of water. Clear skies, light winds are also needed for this type of fog. Mountain fog or valley fog, or really fog that is occurring due to the influence of terrain, there's really two ingredients that come into play. First, at night when the ground cools at the higher elevations, that dense cooler air will start sinking towards the valleys or the lower areas, and it kind of collects down there. Then during the night, as that valley begins to fill with that cooler air, the air will also become cooler, the air temperature. The surrounding air temperature then becomes closer to the dew point, and it becomes saturated, allowing for fog to form. Freezing fog also occurs across the area. This occurs when the water droplets in the fog freeze, when they become contacted with objects such as tree branches, maybe stairs, rails, decks, sidewalks, roads, and vehicles. This is an image of some freezing fog that has occurred before. Now, freezing fog can cause ice to form on roadways, and you may not be able to see it, creating hazardous driving conditions. Now, when you're in a situation where dense fog is forecasted, or maybe you're just out in it and you come across this area of dense fog, make sure to turn on those low beam headlights when you get close to that fog. Drive slowly, keep your distance from others. Sometimes fog forms in very patchy conditions where it may be fine for a little bit and then you just reach the fog and then you'll become out of it again. So if there's situations where maybe there's a dense fog advisory issued, or we're expecting fog with visibilities less than 1/4 of a mile, you may want to take that into consideration if you have to leave in the morning or during the day. Kind of give yourself enough time to plan ahead. Now, if you're going to be boating, if you're going to be going out to area lakes or rivers, it can also be very difficult to see. And so some of the same safety tips apply, using those running lights, slowing down, and listening for sounds. So that's the conclusion of this video on fog. Please stay tuned for additional videos in the Weather Unlocked video series.